quietly. Holding a pipe. And the god lands with a sudden waste attack. The guard clanged the trump card with a double kick. Control the guard with the throat lock. And Flute Hand, the drunken player of the flute.
Hey,
How are you?
the hell's up with no coffee?
Yeah, they don't have any this morning. We all put money in the
I've
coffee
Fucking
trusted
fund.
Clear Eyes for
assholes.
years because my eyes deserve to look this bright, this white, this comfortable.
Those
Yeah,
fucking assholes.
I gotta
Oh,
get
boy, that,
that.
that makes me mad. It's about time to kick some ass, huh?
Maybe I'll pee in the coffee pot and show everybody.
There you go. Yeah, sounds a picking go.
It was fun. It was colder than we thought, but it was fun. We don't get to see the snow very
Ah,
often.
How cold was it?
Up there it was probably like 50.
That's it?
Yeah, that's really cold for me.
50 is cold for you?
I thought you said it was cold. I
50
said
is
it'd be warm
cold.
here. I'm only like 42 or 43 right now here.
Oh no, 50 is
Yeah,
cold.
that's warm. That's nice because it's melting the snow.
It makes your nipples cut through your shirt.
Doesn't make my nipples do anything.
Uh,
It makes me say, yeah, warm up and melt this crappy ass snow.
I imagined your nipples with little mouths saying, yeah.
Oh, nothing much. I just started actually. I was just playing other stuff before we started here. But hey, Kelpo, what's going on? Thank you for coming on. It's a call from 2018. It sounds interesting. I'm not going to give too much, but yeah.
Yeah, they don't say much.
Oh, they're quiet, huh? They're the strong silent type.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you're funny.
I wonder if that's a Tony Soprano reference to like Gary Cooper being the strong, silent type. I've never heard that phrase before until I saw The Sopranos, and then after that I started hearing it everywhere. The strong, silent type, like Gary Cooper.
Yeah, I gotta go to mom's pretty soon and use their car. I gotta go to class.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I'm
worked
home
today.
right now.
So apparently, this call has to do with his rape class, and I am very interested in this rape class so badly.
I think it's wide. Took a load this morning. And I had to be done by 11, so I only had time to do one load because we're working there. Yeah, and the woman didn't like it. I told him, I said, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
He said, you can shut your mouth. I said, what the hell?
Jeez, that's
uh,
rude.
yeah, I know. It fucking really pissed me off. It sucks that all I can do right now is just keep quiet and try to maintain my irritation.
Oh, yeah.
But I told mom, I came back here and looked in the paper and called one guy for another job. I'm thinking about quitting there. I'm not really that happy with that place.
Yeah, you have
I'm
to.
working there. I like the people, but
And just a little background information on me. Like my biggest interest is always employment law, workers' rights. Like that's me. Uh, so yeah, it's just interesting to hear some perspective on this. As I'm hearing a talk or a conversation about what goes on in the workplace. My mic was off, but I told like Emma was complaining about coffee not being in the office, and I'm like, I bare minimum standards should not be made law, but I think every employer should have coffee for their employees. It's just the basics, man. You're making somebody work like a shit schedule, 9 to 5. You need to have coffee for your employees. Very least you could do.
You have to expand
Do
your
what?
horizons.
No, well, I got another job lined up, but they haven't called me yet. They want me to call the 1st of March, and I called them today. Oh, I'm ready to go.
Oh, good.
It pays a lot more. They law a lot more.
Yeah, he faces a lot of issues with re-entry back into society. And it's gonna sound like it's gonna sound like I'm really on this guy's side, which I'm not. But I'm just very big. That's another issue in our society, just trying to reintegrate people that have been to prison or formerly incarcerated people back into society. It's another pet peeve of mine, and it's just sad. Just sad to see that. Yeah, he's a piece of shit, but like you don't give people a lot of options once they get out of jail. But yeah.
That'll
But
be fun.
I didn't have to wait around. But irritates me, so I'm thinking about finding something else until I do go to work for him.
A grande
This
black,
place is really
no cream, please.
irritating me. This place is really irritating me.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the forum they said that they were able to search Facebook and find people who
Yeah.
listed their employer as your employer and sent them.
You know, knowing what Ember did right now is just really frightening that she says this. Because I don't think. Yeah, I'm all for doxing people if they do fucked up shit, but like, I just think the most fucked up thing you could do to somebody in a capitalist society is fuck with their job or with their earnings, like how they make money. Very sensitive stuff.
Messages on Facebook about you and the Sting.
Huh?
I said, remember on the forum I was telling you about how they did a search for your employer, and people who had that in their profiles with your employer's name in common, that they received, stuff about you.
Yeah, Calpel. So before law, I don't work now. I'm unemployed technically, but before law school, I worked at 3 law firms, and it was just complete hell. I was just treated like I just felt like the workers there just had no rights. And what I found really insulting is that I worked at firms that I worked for attorneys that fashioned themselves as workers' rights attorneys, people like that. So I think that experience that just really just crushed me because I'm like, these are the people that I really thought would be the advocates for change in the workplace. Yet again, you see them doing the same exact things that our clients are complaining about.
And the Sting, like link.
And don't get me started on the misclassification of workers with the gig economy going on, because I could really rant on that right now. But you know what? This is not about that. This is not about job. This is not about job politics or employment law or any of that. This is just about focusing on this guy.
Links. They said they sent links to you getting busted.
Oh man, so if you listen to this whenever, I just downloaded the Citizens app again, and I swear to God, I get so many notifications about people getting shot, people getting stabbed nearby. Wow. I remember why I deleted it in the first place. Sunday night, but here we are.
They sent links to who?
They didn't mention names. They said they did a Facebook search for your employer. And then when you're on Facebook, you can type out who your employer is on your About section. So they found people who worked with you, and they sent them the link of you getting busted.
Oh, really?
Thank you very much.
I
Have a
should
nice
probably
day.
already seen that.
Yeah. Well, they sent it like
I probably already seen that shit anyway.
it was on 2 weeks ago on the forum.
Oh.
But the things, for some reason, when I printed everything out, it was weird. It didn't print the timestamps, and if there was a picture that was too big to be printed on a half page, because it was going to be like 90 pages, so I split them in half. But the picture's printed out big. So you're going to get those, and I hope you don't get in trouble, because some of them were the Photoshop pictures of your family. And they had triple X pictures in there.
What I really resent about YouTube, now that I'm talking about this, so the stream that I did on Friday, I was really, it was one of my best streams. I actually had a good time, and a lot of people were talking about it. And then I think there was some Led Zeppelin playing in the background, and YouTube just came and just took that shit down, just completely tore it down. I was very upset because I commented some deep shit about Lorne, and now that's lost for all eternity because some Led Zeppelin, a band I don't even like, was just playing in the background. But that was an Ember thing. That wasn't me.
I mean, that was cool.
Your family members.
Triple X people, photos of my family members.
Yeah, well, they put a picture of your mom on a naked old fat woman doing a sexual act.
Oh man, again, I'm a bleeding heart liberal, people, but it's just I really feel bad for everything they're doing to Mrs. Armstrong, or whatever her name is. I don't think she deserves it, but there's a part of me that I just can't help but laugh at this shit.
And I put all of those on there just for the harassment part, but I don't want you to get in trouble, so.
I'm not going to get in trouble for that.
Okay, good.
They won't. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, because it's not like you went out and went searching for porn or whatever. It's just used to harass you. So.
No. Well, if you say it'll be going away to my lawyer anyway.
Yeah, it wound up being not as much as I thought, but when I put it in on Saturday, I didn't notice the signs that I noticed today when I dropped off a greeting card that that Friday was the last mail day, and then tomorrow they're going to do the mail again because of the holiday. It's like President's Day or something.
Yeah, today's President's Day.
Yeah, and last Friday was a holiday too.
Last Friday was? What was
Yeah.
last Friday?
Well, the way that they have it here, they don't split the President's
Then
Day.
it's New Year.
Well, they have President's Day Monday. It's supposed to be both Lincoln's and Washington's birthday, but here it's celebrated
They
separately.
just have it on the 19th, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Oh, really?
Oh, you know what's so cool? They're talking about President's Day, and I realized that this call is 3 years old, which is 2018, and that's just insane to me because I never thought, like, it's just when I think 2018, I don't think 3 years ago. It's just insane. What was I doing around this time? So what? I think I just started working for my second law firm. I was so young and stupid. I think I was like 26 years old at the time. Just starting a new law firm. No idea who Lorne was back then. As you know my history, I just learned about this motherfucker.
It's a federal holiday today, but where we are, there was no mail Friday either. So
Yeah, but you stuck it in the mail on Friday, right?
I put it in on Saturday, remember? I printed it out Friday night when I got home from work.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Saturday wasn't a holiday at all. So
Oh, okay.
We'll be going out Saturday.
So it's on its way over to you
So it'd
then.
be, yeah, so it'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, tomorrow, Wednesday. You said overnight or
Oh no, I just did the cheapest one. It said 3 to 5 days.
regular mail? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't afford the other one.
Mom's anxious for you to get it.
Yeah, the overnight was like $38, and I couldn't afford that. So.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, regular mail was fine. It'll get here. Going 10 years, no, they have nothing. Wait another day or two.
Well, the last time I sent you something, it took 4 business days, remember? So it'll probably be the same thing this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
It's
even
okay.
Kelpil. I know I repeat myself a lot. That's something I tend to do, but I literally I joined March, not even March of this year. March was when I started watching those videos that Walls had. And then I just started watching TCAP in general. But with Lorne, I didn't actually get involved with Lorne. It had to be around like, May or June. That's when I really discovered like all these videos, and I was just so confused at first. And it's not until October that I really understood Lornography. But before then, I was just so confused. I'm like, what's going on? What are these calls? Or are these people streaming? I'm like, Walls. I saw Walls is how I got started. And then I think Lorne Identity was the second person, and then the other guy, and then I was just lost. I love this guy. Lorne Armstrong has really changed my life in a positive way. And I hate to say that, but
Stuck a pair of my underwear in there.
No, I hope you didn't.
No, I didn't. I'm just joking.
Smart ass.
I used him as the envelope.
So, oh yeah, right. Did you seal it? Lick it and seal it?
Yeah, really. There's no rubber band around the paper. It's just my thong. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing inappropriate in there. The only thing inappropriate are the pictures. But there's a reason why those are in there. It's not, to be so.
I got that from the Operation Lull video that I originally pulled up. So for some reason, this I operate a lull thing really had me cracking up the other day. I'll upload the video. But I searched it. And I'm like, what the fuck is a lull? And on YouTube, you'll actually find like an actual instructional video telling you how to operate a lull. And it tells you what to do, the safety hazards and everything. And then I realized Lorne told Kayla the day before he started that job that he's studying. You remember that? He's saying like, oh, I'm studying. And then I realized what he was studying. He was studying the lull manual. No joke. No, no jokes intended here.
My lawyer will be having that anyway. But, the people in the forum sent links to people that they think work for the same company that I work for.
They were bragging about it. So Pope Sam and Xavier said that they typed in your employer's name in Facebook, and they found people who listed your employer's name.
Xavier.
And they sent your coworkers video of you from the sting, but they didn't give out the links to their Facebook pages, just the links to your family members' pages.
People are my coworkers. I'm gonna message anybody from my family anyway.
No, they just said that they sent your coworkers the sting, so they would make fun of you and call you Mr. Penis and stuff at your work.
No, they don't do that.
I hope not.
They know better than to do that because that's harassment. So they know better than to do that. One of the company policies: you don't harass anybody at the workplace.
That's good. At least you have that protection.
Imagine working with Lorne. Where does he work? A construction company or some trucking company? Imagine you're some 20-year-old person and you're just like, you don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden, like, you just work with this weird 46, 47-year-old guy at the time. You just go into work and you see Lorne Armstrong there. He's a weird guy, you keep your distance, you say hello, goodbye, or whatever. And then on Facebook, you just get a message from Ember, like, you work with a pedophile, and here's the footage from TCAP. Yo, Luis, you got me cracking up, bro. And then all of a sudden, he's like, this is Lorne Armstrong. He tried to fuck a 13-year-old. Here's a sting. There's a whole community that worships him. And here, you work with him. How do you feel? Like, what would you do? I mean, I wouldn't call him Mr. Penis because that's obvious, like, sexual harassment or whatever, but I would make fun of him in a way. Um, and yo, I'm not yo. Listen, I'm a skinny guy. I really do feel like Lorne would like fuck me up in a. Actually, not really, but he is kind of he's got those big forearms and shit, so he would put up a good fight. So and I like I'm a clown at work. I like to I like to like fuck with people. I would definitely make fun of him, but I would get my ass whooped. Um, it's so fucking worth it though.
Action.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know, but it's irritates me.
They can get in trouble for that too, can't they? Harassing your coworkers.
I they're gonna get what's coming to them.
I hope so.
They've added charge on the added charge.
Excuse me.
And every time they make a stupid move, it adds on more charges.
Yeah.
It's their own ignorance.
Well, like I said, I only printed out the stuff that I thought was important. But there's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah. I'll still wind up and send it. Send it so that way I've got it so that way I know what's there. My lawyer will know what's there. And I'll have to have you give me a web address too. I don't think while they'll wind up being able to get in it once they hack into it. But
They have no one to sue. I mean, they really can't sue the employer because the person doing the harassing has nothing to do with the employer. So, it would just have to be like some really extreme shit, like PTSD. Like, I think somebody would have to cut off like a body part and send it to them. They would have to get PTSD, and then they have to prove like causality that's related to work, and that's just a whole nother other fuck issue. Like, it's just impossible. It's basically impossible.
I'll make it easier for me if they have the web address.
Okay, but they can't get in unless they can log in because it's password protected. So one way they can do it is like if they subpoena the forum, then they can get it.
Well, they'll do whatever they have to do to get it. It's gonna be some serious charges put on them.
Yo, Luis, did you ever do the graphic T-shirt designs you were gonna do, or? So people, I told these people on the chat on the Discord thing that I'm gonna start a LOL operator union, and it's gonna be called Union. No, it's gonna be called Local 1018. See if you can get that.
Yeah, they'll probably be afraid too that they don't want to look like they're colluding with perverted justice during this investigation, so they're probably going to go after it pretty aggressively.
Yeah, wow. The problem is prosecutors might wind up getting charges thrown in too. And my lawyer.
It's called Bad Job and Rape Class. And Taking Rape Class. There we go. Yo, but people, again, like, all I have is access to this one little thing, so if, like, anybody knows about more calls, because I know there are more calls out there, I'll gladly do them. These are pretty interesting, and these are the less heard ones.
My ex-lawyer. It's all obstruction of justice. That's an extremely serious charge.
Hey, what's up, Smokey the Cat?
I hope they can prove it. So what, are they just going to use their statements from the forum to get more information?
Yeah.
And what if they say they forgot and
Yeah.
it's because it's been so long ago?
Let me give you a call back. Mom's trying to call me right now.
All right, bye.
Hey, Mike. Hey.
Hey, that was fast. She okay?
Yeah, she just asked me. Yeah, she was asking me if I was on my way yet. I can use her car to go to Bangor. So I don't want to take Mike out of the way that it looks.
Oh, that's right.
Looks like hell. Yeah.
They didn't give you any
So,
update, like she just did the estimate. She didn't tell you whether it was totaled or not.
no, they're supposed to be inspecting it this morning. The guy is supposed to be inspecting the pictures, I guess. And he's giving the approval. And they'll have to fix it. They'll have to fix my transmission, too, because that's part of what happened to do. You got my transmission.
What? So
So-
it physically pushed in your car so much that it affected where the transmission is?
Yeah, it affected something on the transmission.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, God.
Well, it's a fairly decent sized deer, so.
It doesn't sound like a very strong one. What is it, like foreign?
No, it's a Chevy.
Oh, okay. I used to have a Chevy Aerostar van when I first had my kid.
Yes, you can know. There you go, babies.
Well, the most
Be good.
common van color is white. So
Maybe back soon.
I said the most common van color is white. So maybe you can find other white vans that you can take parts from or something.
White van. I don't have a white van.
Oh, I thought you said you did because you said that you don't think the
No.
deer, because you told me you didn't think the deer saw you. I guess maybe I assumed the van blended in with the snow.
No, it was a nighttime. Well, in the morning. Yep.
Are you jamming to some tunes?
So,
You're jamming to some tunes?
yep, whoops. There we go. Wrong button. Get my country music going.
Jeez.
Oh, I can piss off at work. Some of them, but unbelievable.
Why? Oh, because they were rude to you?
Yeah, he was an asshole. He was an asshole, and they really can't afford for him to be an asshole to anyone. Any of the drug drivers. They have a hard time.
State of truck drivers is sad. And it's because I was reading an employment law article. It's talking about how great was it to work as a truck driver back when Jimmy Hoffa was doing that whole union shit going on in the 50s or 60s. And then when you see the unions disappear from the trucking industry, the life quality of truckers just goes down. Yeah, it's just sad.
I'm holding on to them.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They're going to lose you. You're pretty dedicated. Every time I remember talking with you in 2016, and you were up at 2:30 so you could be there on time, writing down your numbers, and you would do everything right. They need somebody like you.
Yeah. Well, they understand that I have places that I have to go. This one foreman doesn't understand that. He said it costs his ass. He said, oh, nothing I can do about it. He said, you can shut your mouth. I was like,
Yo, Luis, what type of music do you play, bro?
God. And you know, he wouldn't talk to you like that in the
He's actually a
street.
decent guy. He's actually a decent guy. It's just I don't like for anybody to talk to me like that. And I just keep my irritation in check for a bit.
That's what I'm saying. I bet he wouldn't have talked to you like that on the streets.
No, he talks a lot. He's good by. He's an all right guy. I think he might be just having a bad day.
He wasn't trying to
He's a
start a
pretty
fight?
big guy too. No,
Oh.
he's a pretty big guy too. And I guess he thinks that intimidates people. I don't get it. It doesn't intimidate me. I've definitely been around a lot more scary people than he is, than him. So it didn't scare me at all.
Are you one of those short
Probably thinks
guys?
that because I don't say anything. Huh?
Are you one of those short guys who are not afraid of tall guys because you've beat a few up before in your life?
I'm afraid of guys and tall guys anyway. There's nothing to be afraid of.
You've fought tall men before?
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's kind of sexy.
You know he was drunk as fuck when he did that, bro. He had to have been. He was drunk as fuck. He just decided to fight somebody for God knows what reason in a bar. I hope he goes more into the story. I want to hear some drunk Lorne stories. Well, ones that don't include us on the phone with him.
Well, it wasn't really a fight. It was much of a fight. But anyway, that
I wonder
doesn't bother me.
who would win between you
I
and me
try
in a
not to
fight.
fight anyway.
Who would win between me and you in a fight?
Probably you.
You wouldn't hit me back?
No, I don't hit women.
I'm 5 feet tall, so I'll probably only be able to reach like your hip area anyway. I'll just be punching you in the butt cheeks.
Well, so at least there's a lot of muscle back there.
Right. And you're going to give me a bill for punching bag lessons.
Yeah.
This is like low-key fucking flirting, bro. The fuck? This is disturbing, actually.
Oh, crap.
What sucks about your van? And you just bought it. It was like brand new.
It's 2008. It's a nice band.
Oh, that's not too old though.
No, that's not too much. About 10 years old. Just, it doesn't ride like a 10-year-old band. It doesn't run like a 10-year-old band. Whoever had it before I got it took really good care of it.
Oh, that's cool. It runs like a 10-year-old girl away from a pedophile.
Oh, shoot, the frustration.
Oh, this coffee's so good.
I love how she just insulted the fuck out of him indirectly, and then he didn't do anything about it.
Good. You should have some.
I just dumped a cup of coffee. I'm going to drink coffee all morning.
Now you have me feeling bad about my station wagon. I have such a boring mom car. At least with the van, you can bring people to a party and stuff.
Actually, I put the back seats down, put plastic down on it, and all wood back and forth.
So the interior was pretty nice too then?
Yep.
You don't see that on many vans because the kids in the back fuck it all up with snacks and sodas and stuff.
Oh, I know. That's why I can't believe it's as good a shape as it's snacks.
You know, I found a chicken nugget from it had to have been 7 years ago in the back of my old van before I sold it. And
That is so fucking disgusting, and I don't understand why I picture that shit. Like, that description was so gross. It was like, oh, fucking 7-year-old chicken nugget. The fuck? The fuck? Why are you talking to somebody like this, bro? Somebody told me they had a 7-year-old chicken nugget in the back of their car. I don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing.
Oh, yummy.
the nugget was like this. It looked exactly the same.
That was probably the cause of the coronavirus, bro. So, a 7-year-old chicken nugget in the back of a van caused the fucking coronavirus. That's fucking gross. That's not even funny. That's not fun. I don't think that's funny, bro. That's so disgusting.
It didn't smell rotten. They were from McDonald's, so it didn't smell rotten. I was like, oh my God, the stuff we put into our kids. I'm glad I don't go to McDonald's anymore. But you prefer
Did
Burger
you eat it?
King. No, I stuffed it up my butt to
I
see if
did.
it'd turn into a diamond.
Oh, did it?
It hasn't come out yet.
Oh, years. It might wind up being a diamond.
It'll come out a black diamond, and we can use it to pay your attorneys so we can get Xavier Von Erck.
Yeah, well, don't even do that because my attorney's public defender. He's from Maine. He's not from Kentucky.
Don't you need to have an open case to receive a public defender?
Need to have a what?
Don't you need to have an open criminal case to where you would then be? Oh, okay. So you're going to ask, you're going to ask your prosecuting attorney to file the charges?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to work it.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing because it's federal, I think, right?
Yeah.
He wants to report a crime to his prosecutors in Maine so they could prosecute these online trolls. What? Oh.
I'm going to get an attorney because having to do this class all over again. Because head new probation officer. Bullshit, so.
You were supposed to be done by now. Why are they doing this to you?
Yeah. I don't know.
You've done it twice. Is this going to be your third time? That's ridiculous.
No, this makes the second time. First time I did it for 4.5 years.
Jeez.
So, yeah, and they switched providers. So, when they get the new probation officer, she wanted me to start the class all over again. That's when I said I'll be getting another lawyer.
All over again? That's ridiculous.
Yep.
All of the progress that you made doesn't count for anything to them? Or what, are they just trying to oppress you?
I don't know what they're trying to do. It
sounds shady as
irritating
shit.
To me. Yeah. Well, it's like the whole thing. The whole thing is shady as shit.
Yeah.
Now we know why.
Jeez, you think they could be involved too?
Me getting them papers.
Do you think they were in on it? No, they couldn't have been. Like, do you think they know about what happened and they're all in agreement to keep you there?
I don't know. I don't think so, but then again, I don't put it past it.
This lady is enabling the fuck out of this guy. It's like she's purposely creating a monster or some shit. This is what the fuck? Why am I into this shit? Like, why do I listen to this shit? Man, what the fuck? She is literally just... It's like she's... I don't know. It's like she's putting fucking gasoline on top of fire and just starting more flames.
Not like you don't participate and you don't do the work.
Well, they don't seem to know as much as what possibly would know.
And I want to go to rape class. I want to attend a rape class. But nobody's helping me out. Like, what is it called? Is it sex offender treatment class? I just want to go to one class. One class, bro. One class. Just let me go to one class, sit in there, take notes. I'm a good student. I'll take notes and shit. I'll ask questions. I'll participate. I just want to participate in a class like this. Just fine, because I've never heard of rape class. This is just such a fascinating topic. Like, what is the history of this class? Like, what? Who teaches it? Who qualifies to teach a class like this? Like, what do you have to teach? Like, what do you... I don't understand. I really want to understand this shit. What is rape class? And I want to, like, see what it's about. Like, let me YouTube that shit, see if I find something.
So I don't know if they've really done the studying and all, but they're supposed to be a fine lesson in studying cases.
I would question their competence too. I remember I really was a therapist. if somebody wasn't making their treatment goals and they were in mandated treatment and they were compliant with the treatment, which means they did everything that was told of them, if they didn't get better and didn't.
So the first thing, I'm not shitting you people. This is so fucked up. Oh my god. So I googled like rape class. What did I Google? Yeah, rape class on YouTube. And the first thing that comes up, I'm not shitting you, Norway, rape prevention class for refugees. What the fuck? Oh man, I'm not even gonna look. I could click on that video right now and oh my god, I don't know what to say. Rape aggression defense class at, oh, what the fuck did I click on? No, I don't want to click on you. Let me go back to the call. I'm done with you. Sorry. Anyways, let's go back.
Make any progress, then it's the treatment provider's fault, and you can sue them, because we got sued because this guy wasn't getting over his domestic violence problem, and we were giving him classes and he wasn't getting better and he was compliant in class, and he won. He put a motion in and it was granted that he didn't have to go anymore because they said the treatment providers were ineffective, our program, because he kept.
Like Kelpill, like he had his phone recording while he was in rape class. I don't know. Like, listen, if it's taxpayer funded, I'm going to make the demand that they admit me. I want to go to rape class. I just want to go to rape class. I want to learn about. I'm gonna get the taxpayer funded class. I want to sit in rape class. What are you gonna do about it? Like, what's stopping? Like, is there a lack of seats? Is there so many students that you have that you can't let me sit in on a class? One class? I just want to sit in on one class, bro. Like, that's it. I want to go to rape class. Just a rape class. And he failed. He failed rape class. He failed rape class. He failed rape class.
And his wife, but we marked him as compliant in every single class and that he did his work just like you. So maybe you can have an argument there that they're incompetent treatment providers.
Well, the treatment provider that I had was good for what I needed. He got a lot of stuff on me that was down deep inside me and irritating me and all that. But this one I have now is not. I don't like the way he does it.
Well, that's
all
the
that.
thing.
I should be kind of all over again anyway.
That's the thing,
I
though.
already completed the book and all the exercises in it. I completed everything in the book already. And I go there and meet him, and my probation officer's there, and he gave me a sheet of exercises to do, and I'm like, I already did all these. I said, these are the same exact things that are in the book that I just finished.
Oh, I want the name of that book. Could somebody give me the name of that book? What's the name of the book? Is it like a Rape Class 101 textbook or Rape Class in Sociology? What's... Okay. So let me just do a quick Google search right now because I want to find out if there is... let me on eBay or some shit. Or Amazon. Rape Class book. I'm going to type in Rape Class textbook. See what comes up. Because I want my hands on this book. I want to do the little exercises. Rape Class textbook on eBay. Hold on. Okay, experience race class. No, I said rape class. What the fuck? Race, class, and gender. Race, class, and gender again. Race. Come on, I said rape class. Rape class textbook. Okay, how about rape class book? Rape class book. Rape of Clarissa. The rape of the lock of other pole. Rape of Clarissa. The fuck? Rape of Clarissa. Okay, what the fuck? Fuck. Let me Google it then. Rape class textbook. Who? Oh man, like I don't know. These searches make no sense. Let me go back to the call. I want my hands on that book though.
He said, then you shouldn't have any problem completing these either. And that's when I told my probation officer, I said, and I've gone through 4.5 years of this already. I completed all the exercises and all the assignments in it. I said, and so after 5 years of going through that, all that 5 years means nothing.
Jesus.
She didn't say anything. And I told her, I said, I'm getting an attorney. So I did. I got an attorney. I put a motion into the court. They gave me an attorney. And so get me out of
This motherfucker needs subtitles. Like I don't understand anything he's saying. And no, he said I need an attorney. And like nothing.
that class.
That's good. They don't need to be holding that over you for the rest of your life. You could have completed a bachelor's degree in that time.
Hell no. I'm stupid.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Your treatment provider should have released you after you completed everything once.
Why? Why though? Why? Like why? I can't. My chest hurts. I need to catch my breath. I can't breathe.
Even though it changed hands.
Well, she wanted to see me in a long-term, in a face-to-face relationship.
But what if you chose
That's why
to
she
be
wouldn't sign off on the
celibate?
last one.
What if you chose to be celibate? That's like your choice.
But no, I know, but that's the reason why she didn't sign off on my last one, because she wanted to see me in a face-to-face relationship.
What is this, the opposite of the Catholic Church? It's the opposite of the Catholic Church. Instead of making you swear that you'll never have sex, they're trying to force you into having sex. It's like they're raping you.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty freaking sad. I gotta get off here because I'm at Mom's now, and I gotta go and get her keys so I can get going.
All right, I'm going to finish up my work day then. I'll be around later on if you want to talk.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good day and work hard.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
All right, bye. Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
the hell's up with no coffee?
Yeah, they don't have any this morning. We all put money in the coffee fund.
Fucking assholes. Those
Yeah.
fucking assholes.
Oh, I'm. Huh? Well, I listen to you two talking, and I know how she is anyway. But we used to have fun talking a lot like that. It was funny. It's just funny stuff. Although that's the things I say about Ramonuh, I do want to do. But you have to read the one that I wrote as if I was you. I mean, you have to. Okay, but you have to read it to Ramonuh. You have to read the other one to Ramonuh too. What was you doing when I called you? Oh. No, not yet. No. No, we're both just waiting on you right now. I'm just taking it all in and gotta relax about the whole thing. Let him do what he's gonna do. What can I do? There's really nothing I can do. I'm in love with her, but she got a fucking therapist throwing shit in her ears, and there's nothing I can do about it. She wants to fucking believe him, and
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me, Ramonuh?
Yes, it's just me. I told him to call me back in 1 minute so that
Oh man, I'm in for a treat tonight. I hope they talk about rape class here.
I can
Okay,
give you...
so we're not
because
we're not on right now.
No, I want to start a new recording. Oh my God, you are so amazing.
Thank you. I was all right. I tried.
Are you calling me from Skype or something?
Yeah, Google Hangouts.
Oh, okay.
Ember had to go, so she told me to work out some other way.
So so we're so I'm gonna record and then Ember, I'm gonna send this to Ember. So I wanted us to start fresh with a new recording that didn't have the other stuff in it, so that she doesn't have to edit through all of it. Okay, so here he is. I'm gonna join him.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm watching like behind the footage scenes of like my favorite series or something.
Okay, but we're not live streaming anymore.
We're not live streaming, but this is going to be uploaded tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, here she is. Okay, hey Lorne. Okay, so therapist just called me back, and we're on the three of us. Again, so
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What were you saying, or what was I saying? So
This is probably the equivalent of like a Melfi scene of The Sopranos for me. This is what I'm thinking right now.
Well, to pick up where we left off, I think we were. I think I was more or less summarizing my my take on the situation, my diagnosis, as it were. And I know it's hard to hear. I'm sure it's hard to hear. I know it's this sort of thing is certainly never fun or easy, but I liken it to a medical procedure. They're rarely fun or easy, and painful and pleasant, and they consume your mental faculties and sap your strength. But sometimes difficult, unpleasant things need to be done, and difficult, unpleasant things have to be said and have to be heard. Obviously, I can't compel you to any action, but I think you know what my advice to you is now, having spent some time with Lorne and knowing what I know. And Lorne, I know that you don't appreciate that, or you don't agree with that, but
I really wish that I could tell you more. I refuse to do it over the phone because of things that have happened to me.
Well, that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative.
On the internet. I have a lot to deal with that.
That's your prerogative, but I have to
proceed and act on the basis of what I do know. And there it is.
I had alluded to earlier, I think I'm like all worn out from crying, so I can talk about it now. The fact that everybody has been acting really crazy, obsessed, with me. My brother TJ flew in, and it's really been a difficult week dealing with them, and
difficult about it.
say again.
Difficult about it. What's made it difficult?
Oh, you sound a little staticky. Say that again.
What's been? You say it's been difficult with your brother there. I'd like to know if you feel like talking about it. What's been difficult about it? What's made it difficult?
It's difficult because there's so much at me, and everyone's freaking out. It's scary. It's new. It's not something that I'm used to.
Is your brother? Has your brother expressed concern about this relationship similar to the ones your parents?
Oh yeah.
We did talk about your brother. Okay. We did talk briefly about that, but we didn't spend. Your mother had basically said what you're saying now, which is just that there are a whole lot of people that are concerned about you.
Yeah, you sound really staticky, though, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of static.
I'm sorry, I had to go to the other side of my house because my.
You know, I've never heard these calls, but I've heard of them, and I've heard that they're really bad quality. So that's just a warning. But I'm gonna tough it out and just listen to it because I have to.
Now, so.
I really have to listen to the content of this shit. And I'm just gonna have to suspend like the bad shit that's going on, like the static and shit.
That's the reception may not be as good here. Is it any better? There may not be a whole lot I can do about the static. Is it tolerable or is it pretty bad?
It's tolerable. Yeah, it's tolerable.
Okay. Lorne, is it okay for you?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I can still hear a little bit of static, but I can still hear you.
Okay.
Let me say that Ramonuh's used to all the attention and people freaking out on my end. She's not used to it being on her end.
Okay.
She dealt with it for months and heard my frustrations for months about people freaking out on my end. But this is the first time she's ever had to deal with it from her end.
Well, I mean, my advice on a thing like this for you, Ramon, is it should tell you something. It should be it should get your attention when you have so many people in your life who care about you, who are all communicating the same concerns to you. You see what I'm saying? In other words, let's say that you have 9 people who say the sky is blue and 1 who says the sky is red. Which group is more likely to be right? And I think that if there's a pattern of concern among the people who care for you and who want what's best for you, that should tell you something. And especially if, when we're talking about relationships, emotions can do wonderful things, but they can also mislead us, and they can compel us to do things that aren't in our best interest. And sometimes a person in a relationship, if it's not a healthy relationship, doesn't see the forest for the trees, to use the expression. And it can be beneficial for.
Nah. I mean, I think the payoff is actually like understanding what's going on in Lorne's head. So like, that's the payoff because they're dedicated. They want to know like me, they're like, okay, what the fuck is this guy about? Let me put in some work and maybe I could get some information because I'm a female. And they actually go through with it and they get answers. It's like a historian or a sociologist or some type of scientist in a way. It's no joke. It's just the same thing.
The person in that situation, to listen to those who are on the outside of that relationship, if they're saying, hey, this is not a good situation for you. And it sounds like, let me ask you this, Ramonuh. Are there any people in your life who advocate the relationship you have with Lorne, which is to say, who are giving you as advice, no, this is a good relationship for you. You should nurture and cultivate this relationship and continue this relationship.
Lorne
Is
does.
there anybody who's...
Lorne does. Lorne advocates the relationship.
Well, besides, I'm talking about people who are in your real life, people who are close to you, your family, people who are present in your life, people that you have known before Lorne. Do you see what I'm saying? Family members, close friends, that sort of thing.
No. Everyone's freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's.
So how long has anybody in your life known about me though?
That's a tricky question to ask or to answer because when TJ was the first and when he started his thing, I don't know if he fully believed it.
Believed what? Believed that you had a relationship with Lorne?
Yeah. I don't know if TJ fully believed that.
Mm-hmm.
How long have people in my life known about our relationship?
Well, hold on. So my parents got something last Friday or Saturday, so it's been about a week that they've known. So last Friday or Saturday, my parents received. It was really disgusting. I don't know if they told you, but it was a printout of his registered sex offender profile, a CD with 3 of our conversations with him calling me every name under the sun, and a note saying this is. I don't know if they. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if they told you all the details. Yeah.
We reviewed those items. We did.
Did you hear the calls?
Oh yeah. We discussed it earlier.
Oh God.
Yeah. See, this is what when I was trying to explain to you earlier, Lorne. These are the elements of information I have to go on. These are the elements of information from which I am drawing my insight, and all I can do is operate based on that information.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing, one story that it's probably already on the internet, so I don't mind telling you this story.
Okay.
It is the story of Amanda James. I lived on Washington State, and I had my nieces and nephew.
This is like a dream come true. Oh my god! It's like I've always been curious about Amanda James, and not like the person that's in our in the streams, but like the real Amanda James. Like I just want to find out like everything I can about her. I just find like it's just the most incredible story. And there has to be a real person out there behind this shit if they didn't die or something.
Like 80% of the time, I talked to this girl for 2 years, and it took more time away from my nieces and nephews than it affected them. And 2 years.
Took time away from your nieces and nephew? So they came to visit you and you're just there on your fucking computer, you piece of shit? Like, really?
years I talked to this girl. She told me her name was Amanda James.
Hi, Betty. Hey, Smokey the cat. Hey, Shin Squala. Yeah, bro. Like, I'm gonna tough it out because I have to listen to this, and it's just getting so interesting. And I told myself I'd go to sleep after like 30 minutes, but I have to.
She told me that her daughter was her niece. She said that her sister-in-law died from breast cancer. Said that she had custody of her niece because her brother was a druggie. What else she told me? She was all.
Oh yeah, Betty, tell me all about it. I want to know who Paula is too. I want to know who Paula is because I'm interested in Paula too. This is a girl, right, in Seattle or something when he was stationed there as like some army dude or something. I know that sounds ignorant, but I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He was just in the army or some whatever. I don't know about ranks. I don't know about divisions. None of that. Like I'm just
Same age as me. She was 30 years old. No, she was 2 years younger. She was 28 and I was 30.
so. You can't really blame him there because this is the year 2000. This had to be 2000 or 1999. So this was the very beginning of the internet. I wouldn't know. I was like in second grade back then. But that internet chat shit must have been like popping back then. So but I just don't get why he sent her like the Dale Earnhardt shit. Why not just send her money? I don't understand like why you would give up signed merchandise like that. Like it's money, like it's barter or like of some sort. Like you could just use it as currency. Like what?
And I mean, she told me she was going to move out there to be with me, and after 2 years she didn't. And I never saw.
It's like this. It's like okay, so when I was a teenager, when I was like 17, 16, 15, whatever, up until the age of 18 or 19, I really liked wrestling, WWE shit. And I was obsessed with the classical shit. So I have signed shit from like Eddie Guerrero and Bret the Hitman Hart. Like I actually met him, shook his hand, and I have like I have his signed books and a couple of magazines. And I would not give that shit up for the world. And I'm not even into wrestling anymore. Like that was just something that was back then, like Dustin McFetridge. But now like it doesn't mean much to me. But I wouldn't give that shit up. Like I don't know. Like that's just weird. Like why would you give that up? Like sign shit from somebody. I don't know. Like I'm just more attached to things that I get signed.
Anybody or dated anybody in that whole time. And then I moved back to Maine so I could be closer to her because she lived in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you knew her from the internet. You said you lived in Washington, so you met her on the internet.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever met anybody from the internet, or met anybody, dated anybody on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved back to Maine, I still talked to her.
This story, like the way that he's telling it, it's like verbatim the same shit that he said to Chris Hansen. There's like nothing new. It's like he's telling the story, right? But I'm not learning any new information from this Amanda James shit. Come on, Lorne, help me out, bro. Do I have to call you and ask you about this Amanda James story? Because like I could really get into this if this hasn't been done. Because I want to know the meaning of this shit. Maybe I've never heard this. Maybe I'll learn something new. Don't spoil it for me.
I was talking to her, and my sister wanted to talk to her. I was talking to her on the phone. My sister wanted to talk to her. So she talked to her for a minute, and just as soon as she got off the phone, she pointed at the phone. She whispered, "She's been lying to you." So after we got off the phone, I got to know her so well that I was able to hack into her email. When I hacked into her email,
I don't think Lorne is smart enough to figure somebody's out because he didn't hack into her email. He figured out her password. But even then, I don't think Lorne is smart enough to figure out someone's password. I how like this Amanda James had to be dumb too. Like how you I want to know what your password was. Was it printer or some shit like that? Because like I can't. Like Lauren is not smart enough to do that. Like, but let's hear the rest of the story.
On that, she had been talking to another guy the whole time. She had slept with another guy the whole time. She had been making pictures of other guys in her email, and among other things.
Yeah.
And then I called her and confronted her with it. And she finally told me the truth. She told me her real name. Told me that her niece was really her daughter.
Yo, could you imagine the night that that was traumatic for Mr. Lorne right here. Because he remembers everything. He confronted her. He went through her. I don't understand how he went through her email. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm stuck there. Fuck everything else he said after. I'm stuck on how did you get lady's email? Like, how well could you know a person? Maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe I don't know. I just want to know how he got into that email. She must have given it to him or some shit. There's no way he figured that out.
And basically everything she told me before for 2.5 years was a lie.
Okay.
Since then, as when I've had a problem with people on the internet.
Okay.
Me and Ramona didn't even meet on the internet.
How did you meet?
We met by phone.
There was a piece of another call. I don't know what it was or exactly. I can't pinpoint it. There was just a call where Lauren said something like her name is Leslie. Like I found out her name is actually Leslie and she lives in Pennsylvania. So that's what I want. Yeah. I'm gonna figure this Amanda James shit out. I have to.
Okay. How did you called her randomly? You were calling random numbers? How did that work? I mean, what do you mean you met by phone?
I didn't know that he didn't know that. No.
Well, she told me in general terms that you had. I mean, my understanding was that this was something that had its beginnings in some capacity on the internet.
Yeah, let's just say we met on the internet.
No, let's tell the truth. I saw his sex offender profile and I messaged him.
Well, that's different from what you told me the other day when we were in session. So I'm curious to know what it is about seeing a sex offender registry entry that would compel you to make contact with him. You thought he was attractive?
Yeah.
She thought I needed a friend, too.
Okay.
She was the perfect friend for me to have.
I want to ask you about this Amanda James situation.
Yes. Thank you so much because I'm so excited.
You conveyed to me, if you don't mind. I want to know what bearing that has on what we're talking about here. When you told me the story, it's a bad side. It's a shame that happened, that somebody lied to you and so on and so forth. But what relevance does that have to what we've been discussing here?
Well, because before I met Ramonuh, there was a girl named Ember, and she was married, and we were just friends. And I took her as being, after talking to her for a while, I took her as my best friend. I actually called her my best friend.
I know a little bit about that situation. I want to know why you're telling me this. I want to know what relevance this has to the things that we've been discussing about Ramonuh.
Because it has to do with the way that I act when I get fucking, how I get paranoid.
Okay.
Because that's the whole reason I get paranoid is when something doesn't feel right.
Uh-huh.
Or I think being played with or something like that.
Okay. Well, what bearing does that have on your fitness as a partner for her? I mean, you're just explaining. Okay, you had some negative experiences, and you tend to get paranoid. I mean, I understand that, but I'm trying to understand why you're discussing those things in the context of your relationship with Ramonuh. What does one thing have to do with the other?
Because I know my feelings for Ramonuh, and I get scared that I'm going to get hurt all over again.
Okay. That's normal.
Yo, he talks like a teenage boy. He talks like a 18-year-old or something, bro. The fuck?
That's normal in a relationship. A lot of people struggle with that. What does that have to do? Listen, Lorne, my concern here is your fitness as a partner for Ramonuh.
What's different with me and Ramonuh is that our conversations have been put on the internet. A normal relationship, the people that are obsessed are able to hack the phones and stuff like that.
That doesn't influence the dynamic of how you act toward her. It shouldn't, and if it does, in the sense that it compels you to be angry and abusive, I mean, all that does is buttress my point about how it's not healthy for her to be in this relationship, and it doesn't. And none of the things that you've told me have any bearing on the behavioral concerns I have about you regarding your sexual crime and your proclivities in that area, your proclivities towards alcohol abuse, your proclivities to express your anger inappropriately. These are all
that abusive stuff. That verbal abuse only happens when I'm drinking. That's why I quit drinking.
Well, but you have to start drinking in order to quit drinking. It's the starting drinking that concerns me. In other words, you don't get a medal because you stopped doing something you shouldn't have done in the first place. The concern remains: why did you do it in the first place? And if you're telling me that you had a DUI when you were much younger, and now you're talking about this abusive behavior that you stopped doing 2 weeks ago because you stopped drinking 2 weeks. I mean, I'm seeing long-term patterns of behavior here, in regard to the drinking and the abusive behavior. These are not small issues. These are certainly not issues that go away because you stopped drinking 2 weeks ago.
This is also coming from somebody that doesn't know me.
I know those things about you. Are those things true or not?
That's all you know, though.
What do I need to know? If you have
those things about me, just because you know those things about me doesn't mean that you know me.
Lorne, everybody in prison has a reason why they did what they did. You see what I'm getting at? Everybody in an AA meeting has a reason why they started drinking. The reason is irrelevant. The behavior is what I'm concerned with. Every man who's ever been arrested for abuse, for hitting his wife, has some explanation for why she made him so mad that he just had to do it. I'm not concerned with your reasons. It's the behavior that I'm concerned with. The behavior is what
I've never hit a woman in my life, and I never will. It's right down my mother.
I didn't accuse you of hitting a woman. I'm using that as an example. I'm trying to draw a parallel here. I'm trying to make a distinction between behavior and motivation. The motivation is irrelevant when my concern is the safety of my patient. The behavior is all I'm concerned with. You might have 100 excuses for drinking to excess, for abusive behavior, and they may all be valid excuses in your mind. But if the behavior continues to manifest itself, then the reasons for it don't matter. And I might add that some of the
is this the doctor with the big dink or whatever that she saw? The one that was sucking like olives out of her belly button next to the pool? Is this him?
The piece issues that I have, the sexual stuff and the drinking, there's no excuse for those things. it doesn't matter what your reasons for doing those things were. You did them, and no reason is good enough. There's no justification for those things. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care how many Amanda James there were. I don't care how many Embers there were.
I don't care how many Amanda Jameses there were. Oh, fucking clown, bro. Clown.
The fact of the matter is that what I did before was wrong. And I know it was wrong. And everything I've done wrong, I know everything I've done wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
I also know that I'm getting better.
Well, I can't make that evaluation. All I know is that there are patterns of behavior. Well, that's fine. That's between you and your therapist. My concern is Ramonuh's well-being, not your improvement as a person. And if there are patterns of behavior that are unhealthy, that are potentially dangerous for her, that's what I'm concerned with. And I have to make my evaluation on that basis and that basis alone. So it doesn't matter to me why you got a DUI. I mean, the immediate reason is the only thing that's of any significance to me. You got a DUI because you used bad judgment. You drank too much and you decided to drive a car, which is a terrible thing to do. Terrible judgment. Now, it happened a long time ago. But
that wasn't even the case. The case was I hadn't had a beer for hours. And I thought that I was sober. I didn't want my brother walking on the road drunk. I drove him home.
If you drank to such excess that hours later you were still...
You can't let him crash on the couch? Damn, bro. Alcohol is dangerous, man. They should just let this guy smoke some weed. Let him smoke weed and stay in his trailer.
Drunk enough to get a DUI? Not only does that indicate a serious lack of impulse control.
I was barely over the legal limit. This is what I'm saying. Just because I got a DUI, you automatically that I was actually drunk.
You say you were barely over the legal limit. I say the word barely doesn't matter. You were over the legal limit and you drove a car.
I didn't think that I was over the limit when I drove.
Well, that's bad judgment.
At that time.
You're not helping your case. If you say, well, I didn't think I was over the limit, all that tells me is that you not only have a drinking problem, but you don't have the ability to judge when you're too drunk to drive or not. That's a double whammy.
Oh, my God. The other thing that I'm hearing is you're trying to find every fault with me that you can.
Tell me where you see any flaws in that reasoning process, Lorne.
I'm not going to tell you anything anymore.
Of course you're not. You don't have anything to say. I've cut you here. All you can do is say, well, admitting. Yeah. I mean, that's the fact. Because if you had a rebuttal, you would have already used it. The fact that you're saying, well, you don't know, and you're just trying to find anything wrong with me, that's a cop-out. That's a victim mentality.
The fact of the matter is, I fell asleep. That's what happened. I fell asleep.
Well, that's even worse.
I fell asleep.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
This is even worse.
Better? Oh, well, he only fell asleep. Oh, well, yeah, you hit that. You hit that station wagon and you killed that family, but you were only asleep, so let's go easy on you. Are you kidding me?
I don't need you to continuously try to make me out to be a bad person.
I'm falling into what I see. I'm making
me out to be a bad person.
I don't have to make you out to be a bad person. The facts do that. All I'm doing is observing the facts.
The facts don't do that.
What are the facts? You're a good guy?
It's the complete opposite of, like, peacekeeping.
Oh, well, he fell asleep. That's a good guy right there. He fell asleep because he drank too much.
Right. Let's evaluate you.
I'm human just like the rest of us. The difference between you and me is that I own my mistake.
Too, you know. I do make mistakes.
So you're saying that you're no worse than
I am. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I should date Ramonuh. I live a lot closer to her than you do. And I probably make more money.
Like that, wouldn't she?
Do you have, surely you...
This is the doctor, isn't it? I'm just confused. I'm sorry if I sound like I don't know anything, but I really don't. And I'm just trying to put together a story. So, He's dating the therapist and the doctor are the same people involved in Ramona's life. Whatever.
That sounds like that tells you what kind of person you are. You're married and you're talking about dating my girlfriend.
Well, at least she's not 13.
That statement wasn't it?
At least she's not 13.
Guess I don't have anything to worry about, do I?
I don't know. That's probably
That's a smart-ass remark to say. That's a smart-ass remark to say. At least she's not 13. That's a real professional statement.
Calling it like I see it. I think it's the most professional thing I can do. So, do you have anything else to say on your behalf?
On my behalf?
Mm-hmm.
What else is there to say?
Well, if you've got something to say, say it. If you're just going to repeat yourself.
Ramona knows me. I don't care if you know me.
I don't care whether you care. I'm not here for your benefit.
I have nothing left to say to you.
Okay, then I'm going to talk to Ramona now. And I'll appreciate it if you can keep quiet while I do so I don't have to argue with you and then repeat myself.
Well, he'll drop off. He'll drop off and you can talk, as you like to say, candidly.
Okay. Before we do that, Ramona, I need to know if you're prepared to make a decision.
And, okay, yeah, it looks like he dropped off, so it's just us.
Lorne's not on the line any longer?
No, I don't think so. Hang on, let me see.
Okay.
He is fuming, bro. He has to be like fucking furious beyond belief right now.
Okay, yeah, it looks like he dropped off.
Okay. Well, I'm sure this has been very difficult for you. I know that it's not easy to have to contend with these issues, but as long as Lorne's not on the line, I'd like to be perfectly candid with you because I love that word. If I can, if you'll allow it. I mean, if you want to hear what I have to say.
Sure.
Just off the record, I mean, I just think you can do a lot better than him. I just think you can do so much better for him.
Why are they acting in character? Like, if Lorne is never going to listen to this, what's the fucking point? Oh, maybe I'm missing something. Let me just keep listening with an open mind.
Than him. I look at you and your situation. You're young. You're professional. You're a beautiful girl. Very attractive. And you come from a good family. You're a successful professional. You're outgoing. You're warm. You're a wonderful person. And I think that you need to take some time and see what it's like to have someone show you what a full relationship can look like. All of the purposes and benefits that go along with that, emotional and physical. And we talked about these. Your mom talked about a couple of friends that you have here. You have the surgeon and this store manager, and that these are young professionals, successful, and they're closer in age to you, and probably intellectually have more to offer you than Lorne would. And I would even say, I mean, if we're just speaking off the record here, someone like me, I could even, I mean, obviously it would have to come after I've settled my affairs with your parents, and there's a medical release that is involved that discharges you and your family as my client and that sort of thing. But after something like that, I'd be willing to spend some time with you, professionally, of course, and just sort of show you what it's like to be with someone who's, more in your league. And, go out to dinner, things like that, and be purely platonic.
I want to hear a reaction.
Is that something you'd be interested in, maybe at some point?
Well, like I know.
I mean,
I have a question. I have a question, and don't think that I'm just asking it off the record because I heard that a lot of you therapists who I've heard a lot of you therapists do this, that you guys pretend to be married because it makes you look more skilled in what you do. But, is that...
oh, no, I don't do that. No.
Are you married or are you pretending to be?
No, I'm married, of course. 11 mostly wonderful years. It's not always perfect, I mean, we have our ups and downs as any couple does, I won't lie, there are times when I get frustrated with the situation and wish that I had a diversion myself, I miss the single life sometimes, but I think that's normal for anybody that's been married any length of time. I don't think that's material here, but no, I'm not. Ramona, you're my patient. I'm not trying to take advantage of you or put you in a compromising position or anything like that. What I offer is for your benefit.
Okay, because, I was wondering if you guys do that because I have I wouldn't really call him a friend, but he's more of an acquaintance, and he's a therapist, and I shouldn't say he pretends to be married, but he tries to lead that on, that,
What the fuck is going on? Now I'm just confused.
He wears, well, I guess he does pretend to be married. He wears a ring, and he has pictures on his desk of him and his sister kind of obviously not kissing or doing anything like that, but just having fun, kind of to lead you to believe that he's married because he's a family therapist, and so he doesn't.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, that's not. That's a terrible violation of the solemn oath of the therapist, and I would never even dream of doing like that. I think it's different if, look, we're living in the modern age, and the dynamics of a married relationship are somewhat different in a lot of cases than they used to be. There are a lot of couples that are open about interests outside the marriage they may have, and if it's something that's agreed upon within the marriage, that I think is perfectly fine. And anyway, I don't mean to. I mean, I didn't mean to come on too strong. I hope I did not. It would be doing it for your benefit. I mean, it's not to say I wouldn't enjoy myself too, but it's purely platonic, purely for to sort of get you on the right foot in terms of exploring the options that you have, right around you. And I think that would be good for you. It's just something to consider.
It's interesting. It's I don't know how to describe it. My family and friends, this whole thing has kind of brought everybody together, and it's really odd how...
Well, I think it might be good for your family and friends to, see you spending time with a successful professional who had your best interest at the forefront of his intentions, and that could be good for them. It could sort of ease some of the friction from what this Lorne situation has done for the family dynamic, and kind of bring everybody back into a better place, a happier, more positive place mentally. You know what I mean? Maybe sort of mollify some of the bad effects that unhealthy relationship had on those dynamics.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy that, like, my friends and family are coming together. I just don't like the reason and the way that it's happened. I mean, I'm not used to all this attention being on me, and with my parents showing up at random times, and with my friends showing up at random times, and with people calling each other and stuff like that, it's brought my family and friends closer, albeit I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot more about the surgeon and about the retail guy you referred to. He's my neighbor. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot more about them in terms of, well, Ramonuh, these guys are perfect for you, but honestly, it's nothing I can't handle, but, I'm
my advice to you is that you're young and you're free and you're a beautiful girl. I mean, very attractive. You obviously have a keen fashion sense. You always look dynamite whenever I've seen you, and you have a confidence and an air of self possession that's very attractive. It's even sexy, I'd say, if you understand what I mean. And I mean, look, if I'm being perfectly honest, you're the kind of person that I would pursue if I weren't married, and maybe even if I was, under the right circumstances. Purely hypothetically speaking, of course. But I think you need to take these compliments to heart and understand that if I see you in that way, certainly others do as well. Which means that you have a lot of options right around you, good, viable options. Look, I want to say something off the record. It's just between you and me, that I hope won't offend you. But this Lorne, he's kind of a loser, and I think he's a dead end, and who needs that?
But
I think.
We were he and I were just talking. He's got a chance to make a lot of money.
What's a lot of money for him?
I don't know what a lot is for him, but now that I think about it, I really don't know what.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to put.
What do you consider to be a lot?
Well, I'll put it this way: it's August, and I've already cleared 6 figures 2 times over, and that's after taxes.
I'm jealous. I don't.
No.
I wish to be you.
But I'm saying, if you were with someone like me, then
it's like this is purposely being said so he could listen to it somehow by mistake. But how does this happen? How do you make someone listen to this call? Like, I need explanations.
You could partake in that success as well. Doesn't that sound good? Don't you want something like that for yourself?
I do. I do appreciate the things that, I don't want to say the things that money can buy. I have money, but I do appreciate the things that financial security and success can provide. I think everyone should.
You deserve a man who will dress you well and feed you well and show you how enjoyable a life like that can be. Vacations and a beautiful home and a nice car. It's not all about material possessions, of course. But the larger point I'm making is that you deserve a quality of life, not only physically, not only financially, but emotionally, you deserve someone who can, who's stable, who can provide. You know, you have to look at how old is Lorne? What is he? I thought I got my papers here. Somebody's 48 or 49, something like that. 47.
6.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be 47 in a couple of weeks.
So you've got a guy who's almost 50 years old, who doesn't have any financial foundation, doesn't have a career, doesn't have any prospects for one because he's not educated. He's a convict, a felon, rather. He's got some obvious behavioral issues. And
I want to see the reaction. I want to fast forward, but like I don't want to miss out on something.
tendencies that are very unhealthy. And not only are they unhealthy, but they're unsafe for you. And you talk about going to meet this person. Well, I mean, he can't travel to you. He doesn't have any money, so you'd have to go to him. Now you're venturing into his world. You don't know anybody in that world. You don't know what kind of guy this is. And you know, what if he has one too many one night while you're there, and he decides to take his anger out on you in person?
Well, I did say this, and he doesn't like it, and he says that his therapist doesn't like it, but to me, this seems like the only viable option in terms of me going up there. I said, I need for him, and so far it's been 2 weeks. So we're 2 weeks into this, but I told him, I need for you to go 3 months without drinking, or 3 months without screaming at me. I gave him a list of things that I needed him to do in order for me to be willing to be comfortable enough to come down there. I was honest with him, and I did tell him that he does scare me, and that...
this. You know what fear is, Ramonuh? You know what fear is?
What's fear?
It's nature's way of telling you you're in a situation you shouldn't be in and to get out. That's what fear is.
But
so
see,
if you're fearful, then that's the universe trying to tell you something.
But see, and that's why I told him, I said, you know, I need you to not drink. I need you to not, for 3 months. And I told him for 3.
How would you know if he does or he doesn't?
Because here's the thing. Every time he has ever gotten drunk, he has flooded my phone with hundreds and hundreds of abusive text messages, with tens of abusive voicemails, and and he's called me repeatedly, and if I am in a situation where I can answer my phone, I've been verbally abused. And so those are my clues into whether or not...
You're trying to talk him up into a best case scenario where he doesn't get drunk and abuse you. I mean, how healthy can this relationship be if you're trying to talk him up to that level of behavior?
Well, tell me if you agree with this, because this is the list that I gave him. I'm going through and looking for it. This is the list that I gave him. I have it. Okay, so on, let me see, hang on.
No sweat.
Okay, so on July 19th, I sent him, actually July 19th at 4:27 p.m., I sent him this letter, this message, and I said, for 3 months, starting on July 19th, which was the day that I sent it, no getting drunk, no calling me or my family and friends' names, no threats to me or my friends and family, no yelling at me, no repetitive messages or calls, no messages before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m. ever, no getting an attitude if or when I don't text or call back, no accusing me of cheating, no nasty voicemails, and I said no nasty messages from your friends or from your friends' phones. And so I said, so I said, you have to do these for 3 months. You have to follow this for 3 months. And I said, and if you follow this for 3 months, starting today, then I'll come down on October 19th, that is his birthday, I'll come down and spend that time with you, and I'll pay to do it. I said, but if you violate it and it has to start over,
This is all news to me, guys. Like, I'm just like learning so much. Fascinating. Okay. Okay, now I have more context. I have more of a grip of like the Lorne storyline.
then I'm not going to pay to come down. And so it ended up getting violated. And so we are now at the 2-week point. So it's been
So you're saying that he's already broken the rules?
twice or 2 or 3 times.
Okay, let me tell you the problems that I see that I have with that arrangement, and then I'll tell you
But
the
I
third
thought,
problem I
hold
have.
on, real quick. I thought that list was brilliant because it encompasses everything that he does that is abusive. I figured.
Well, here's the problem with it. The list is fine in the sense that it's an exemplary template for how every man should act all the time anyway. Now, the problem with the situation is threefold. The first problem with it is that if he's the kind of guy that you have to give an ultimatum to in order to get him to stop doing those things, that's a bad guy. He should never have done any of those things to start with. And the fact that he has multiple times and that it's enough of a pattern of behavior that you have to draw up an arrangement with him to get him to stop doing those things is very, very troubling. That's the first problem. Here's the second. When you tell a child that he needs to be good because if he's not good, Santa Claus won't come, you're teaching that child that good behavior is that rewards are a function of good behavior, that desirable outcomes are a function of good behavior. Okay, but the child is not doing the good behavior because he wants to be intrinsically good. He's only doing it to get the reward. He's doing it for the wrong reason. His focus is in the wrong place. Now, with a kid, it's fine. This is how we teach good behavior in children until they're old enough where we can communicate the meta reasons for why good behavior is so important. But when you're dealing with a grown man and you have to offer him an incentive, then in addition to the problem I just outlined before, he's not doing it for the right reasons. He should want to not be verbally abusive because being verbally abusive is a terrible thing for a man to be, especially to a woman. He should want to give up drinking because it makes him a worse person and it puts him and other people in danger. Okay? And to give him this ultimatum is to not only subtly reinforce that action reward dynamic that's so wonky, it's out of place. It's completely broken for this to be the basis on which a grown man learns to behave properly. But as long as you are the reason he's doing those things, you'll be the reason that he breaks the rules. Right? If things go south, well, then he's back to drinking and being abusive again.
Now, what do you mean I'll be the reason he breaks the rules?
Because the health of your relationship with him, the tone of the relationship, of your relationship with him, will be the nexus for whether or not he does the things he needs to do to improve. When a person is looking to affect an inner change, an inward change, a personal change to become a better person, if the motivation is not the intrinsic value and worth of being a better person, then it's misplaced. And it's especially dangerous when the impetus for that change is a relationship with another person. Because if things, say you're to have a bad stretch in your relationship with him, right? Well, that could demotivate him, and it could trigger him to go and drink to excess or to pursue these behaviors that he seems to have a hard time not doing in a way that's especially excessive or dangerous. This is why situations where a person is working to give up a vice or a bad tendency or a bad habit to please another person rarely works out because the motivation is wrong to start with. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I have 2 questions. Thing one is, would you call him an alcoholic?
Well, I can't make a determination like that based on the clinical definition for what an alcoholic is. I just don't have the insight. That's an evaluation that requires a level of access that I don't have with him, and I'm not his therapist, so it's not my place to say. He certainly exhibits that tendency. He certainly exhibits. There seems to be a thematic proclivity on his part to drink to excess. I think the odds are that he is an alcoholic. I think I would be more surprised to learn that he's not one.
Now, how would you define alcoholic?
Well, an alcoholic is broadly speaking just a person for whom alcohol is inappropriately or unhealthily significant part of their lives. It can take many forms. It can be some people. We have what we call functional alcoholics, which is to say somebody who can carry on the day-to-day activities of a normal life, such as working a job and having a social life and that sort of thing. But in order for them to feel normal or to feel comfortable in their own skin, they have to consume an excessive amount of alcohol.
Yeah, this is too much. That explanation is just not concrete. This guy's like just, yeah. There are, broadly speaking, there are two types of alcoholics: alcoholism, and alcoholism. Oh my God, Betty! I just saw your response to what. Hold on. So this is the therapist. The doctor is another guy who's her brother's friend and lives in their condo community. But so she's rich. You live in the same condo community as your doctor. That's a doctor. Okay. Ramona's parents hires this therapist to help her because she was making bad decisions about talking to Lorne. Yes, okay, this makes every bit of sense, man. This makes every bit of sense. I'm starting to get it. It's like all coming together. Thank you so much.
Use and alcohol dependence. So that's what I've just described.
Oh, he's incognito. So he's listening to this. I know I sound like this is new to me. I'm sorry, but so he's on the line listening, but he hasn't blown up yet or anything. He's listening.
Be someone who is alcohol dependent. Someone who abuses alcohol is, say, somebody who specifically drinks to excess because they enjoy the feeling of being out of control, and they enjoy exhibiting the behavior that a person does when they've consumed to excess. There's a lot of times it's not a clean division. These are arbitrary distinctions that we make. So lots of people exhibit tendencies of both. Based on what I know about Lorne, I think there are tendencies toward both, which is to say he drinks frequently, the last 2 weeks notwithstanding. In other words, the drinking is a part of his regular routine. So there's a dependence there. There seems to be a dependence there. But he drinks to excess, and that's the abuse part. That's the abuse component of it. And, of course, when he drinks to excess and then he becomes abusive and violent, verbally violent, and possibly physically violent. We don't know. I don't know. So
he said he wouldn't be.
He said he would be.
He said he wouldn't be. He said he would not hit me.
Well, of course he said that. I would say that too if I were trying to get you to come see me. Yeah, that doesn't really. You have to look at his behavior and his tendencies and his past actions. He kept getting mad at me for making reference to past mistakes he's made, but the reason that I keep doing that is because I'm trying to establish a character here, a character sketch, and the way that you do that is by looking at consistent patterns of behavior and evaluating them and that sort of thing, and that's what I was doing with him. So I don't know if he meets the clinical definition for what an alcoholic is, but his behavior is certainly moving in that direction, and it certainly wouldn't surprise me if upon being evaluated, the determination were made that he's an alcoholic.
Now, so now, like, I know you said that he leans, or that you lean toward believing that he is an alcoholic, but I mean, he has not had a drink in 2 weeks. I mean, it's like...
Well, look, AA gives out awards for going a year without drinking. You know, I'm not... before you can go a year without drinking, you got to go 2 weeks. I'm not completely disregarding the significance of going 2 weeks without alcohol, but people do that all the time. Alcoholics do that all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. And I might add that you don't know that he's gone 2 weeks. I think it's admirable that you want to trust him, that you want to believe you can trust him, but it's perhaps a little naive at the same time. If all you have to go on is this word.
I don't think Lorne is the type to have 1 or 2 drinks or just get a little tipsy and then just go on about the night. He gets fucked up, like. So I think Ramonuh would have known about it.
And he's proven to be unreliable in the past. I'm not sure how much weight that holds.
I mean, I will say, based on the fact that I have not gotten angry voicemails and abusive texts and repeated calls, like, honestly, if he is drinking, I would say he's probably having somebody hold his phone, because his behavior in the last 2 weeks does not suggest that he's had any drinks to me.
I don't know if you know this or not, but there are apps you can get for your phone that will shut down the text feature for in between certain hours, and they're made specifically for people who have a tendency to send drunk texts. So,
is that
for
real? But you know, I will say this again in his defense, that he has he calls it like a burn phone, where it's like just a regular just flip phone, and because his probation officer has his phone, so he just has like a regular like throwaway type phone, and so I don't think he even knows what an app is, so he can't. Maybe
not. I don't know. All I'm saying is that you have to look at all possible options, all possibilities, and you have to do it in the light of what you know about him. I mean, this is true of any relationship, and it's especially advantageous for him, or potentially could be, for there to be so much physical distance between the two of you, because you really don't have any way of knowing. But I would say that even if he has been clean for 2 weeks, that doesn't carry a whole lot of weight in terms of being able to look at the situation and say that this person has had a real sea change in terms of the way they behave or live and that sort of thing. I mean, 2 weeks is not a long time. And I would add, again, I mean, I'll remind you of something I said earlier, which is that in order for him to have stopped drinking, he has to have started first. And I'm not terribly impressed with a guy for whom no longer abusing his girlfriend verbally is an accomplishment. I would prefer that you be with someone who never abused you verbally to start with. And I think you deserve that. And I think that you need to believe that for yourself. It's fine for me I can tell you that, but ultimately you've got to determine that that's true.
How is Lorne? There is no way Lorne is listening to this. He does not have he would have fucking blew up by now. No.
Yourself. And it won't be something that's actionable, something that you can actually act on until you believe it. I think you deserve better than what this guy can offer you at his best, and I don't think you've gotten anything close to his best. Does that make sense?
Now, I have a question though. Okay, so I did say the 3 month thing, and we're 2.5 weeks Oh, now I'm echoing.
And I would point out something that you told me a few minutes ago as well that I meant to discuss earlier, but then we got off track, which is that he's already violated the terms of this arrangement you made. You said he's already done it. He's already broken the rules multiple times. Now, he may have been good and clean for the last 2 weeks, but even in the presence of an incentive, he's shown an inability to adhere to the parameters of the agreement. That's very troubling.
Now,
It says that he doesn't have any impulse control.
Now, my question now is, okay, so we're 2 weeks into this next 3 months thing. So 3 months started on, so we're 2 weeks into it. So 3 months started again on the, on the 27th of July. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's 1, and then 2.
It's
yeah.
14, 4 plus, so it's, 14.
So
right,
so
2 weeks.
today makes, for me, technically Friday. Today makes 15 days, but technically 2 weeks if you go based on like it being Thursday. So, but so 15 days, 2 weeks. So we're 2 weeks into the 3 months. So now, going based on that, so what was it, July 27th? So, August, September, October. So we're looking at, so July, August, September, October. So we're looking at the weekend of the 27th, me coming down now, assuming that, he doesn't get drunk or anything in that time. Do you think it is possible that he's going to be able to go another 2.5 months? Because that was, because that's the arrangement where we're at.
Oh man, this call's about to end, at least this part. But then after this, I gotta say goodnight. It is too late. I cannot play another 1 hour call, as much as I want to.
Now.
No, I don't think it's possible. But even if it were possible, I would say it's immaterial in terms of whether you should go and see him.
You think he's going to get drunk in this 2.5 months?
Yeah, if I were putting money on it, of course.
Really?
Have you ever known him not to get drunk in a 3-month span?
No.
There you go.
Oh, so that was the end of that, but I will continue this sometime this week. Anyways, thank you for coming. Phantasm Art, Betty Schultz, Luis Negron. Yeah, I'll check out the Discord. Good night, guys.